The friendship between Victor French and Michael Landon cost him everything. Victor French, a beloved actor and director, was known for his distinctive contributions to television, particularly for his roles in long-running series such as Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. His rugged, bearded appearance and deep voice made him a memorable character actor, and his talent for portraying kind-hearted yet gruff individuals endeared him to audiences. But beyond his on-screen roles, French had a rich personal life and an impressive directorial career, making his mark on Hollywood in numerous ways. His close friendship and professional partnership with Michael Landon added another layer of depth to his legacy, with the two men sharing a special bond both on and off the screen. Victor Edwin French was born on December 4, 1934, in Santa Barbara, California, into a show business family. His father, Ted French, was a stuntman and actor in Western films, which helped shape Victor's early interests in acting and stunt work. Growing up in an entertainment-centric household, French was exposed to the world of acting from a young age. His father's influence undoubtedly played a major role in his desire to pursue a career in Hollywood, especially within the Western genre, which remained close to his heart throughout his career. French attended the University of Southern California, where he studied theater arts. His formal education in acting helped refine his craft, but his passion for the Western genre remained steadfast. Early in his career, he worked as a stuntman, following in his father's footsteps, which gave him valuable experience in the technical aspects of film production. This background would later benefit him when he transitioned to directing. Victor French began his acting career in the 1950s, primarily in Western films and television series. His rugged look and natural affinity for Western roles made him a perfect fit for this genre, which was incredibly popular at the time. He appeared in numerous guest roles on classic Western TV shows such as Gunsmoke, Bonanza, and The Virginian. French quickly developed a reputation for playing villains and tough guy characters, which, despite their rough exteriors, often had an underlying sense of justice and morality. His roles in these westerns were notable for their authenticity, as French's background as a stuntman made him particularly adept at handling the physical demands of the genre. Whether it was horseback riding, shootouts, or fistfights, French brought a level of realism to his performances that resonated with audiences. His love for the Western genre also extended to his personal life, where he was an avid horseman and outdoorsman. Victor French's big break came in 1974 when he was cast as Isaiah Edwards in the beloved family drama Little House on the Prairie, created by his lifelong friend Michael Landon. French's portrayal of Isaiah Edwards, a gruff but kind-hearted man who served as a father figure and close friend to the Ingalls family, earned him widespread acclaim. His character, who had a tragic backstory of losing his family, brought emotional depth to the series, and his on-screen chemistry with Landon, who played Charles Ingalls, was one of the show's highlights. Little House on the Prairie allowed French to showcase his range as an actor, as his character often oscillated between moments of comedic relief and profound emotional depth. Whether he was engaging in humorous antics with the Ingalls children or navigating the complexities of personal loss and redemption, French's performance resonated deeply with viewers. His portrayal of Edwards made him one of the most beloved characters on the show, and his legacy as part of the Little House family remains strong even decades after the series ended. Victor French and Michael Landon shared a deep and enduring friendship, one that spanned decades and shaped both of their careers. However, this close bond also came at a great cost, especially for French. Their friendship, while supportive and creatively fruitful, may have played a pivotal role in some of the most harmful choices that led to French's eventual decline in health. Despite their camaraderie and collaborative success, French's association with Landon ultimately contributed to struggles with addiction and a premature death, casting a shadow over what was otherwise a remarkable partnership. Victor French and Michael Landon first crossed paths in the mid-1960s when French appeared as a guest star on Bonanza, the hit television show in which Landon starred. French's rugged charm and powerful screen presence made him an ideal co-star for Landon. Their chemistry on screen blossomed into a strong personal friendship off-screen. When Landon transitioned from Bonanza to his next major project, Little House on the Prairie, he brought French along, casting him in the role of Isaiah Edwards, the hard-drinking but lovable mountain man who became a father figure to the Ingalls family. French's portrayal of Mr. Edwards became one of the show's most beloved characters, and his collaboration with Landon continued to thrive. Their partnership continued after Little House on the Prairie ended, with Landon creating yet another iconic series, Highway to Heaven. In this series, French played Mark Gordon, a jaded ex-cop who finds new meaning in life by helping others alongside Landon's angelic character, Jonathan Smith. The two actors spent years working side by side, with French often referring to Landon as his best friend. Their connection wasn't just professional, it was personal, familial even, and they leaned on each other through the highs and lows of their lives. However, their friendship also introduced French to certain vices that would have a lasting impact on his health. During their years of collaboration, Michael Landon and Victor French formed a strong bond that helped them navigate the stresses of the entertainment industry. Yet, it was during these stressful periods that Landon introduced French to what would become two of his worst habits: smoking and drinking. Both men faced immense pressures as they worked on long-running television series, especially with Landon serving as both an actor and the creative force behind their shows. French, a man of hearty appetites and a larger-than-life personality, found himself drawn to alcohol and cigarettes as a way to cope with the demands of their work, particularly during moments of stress. Landon, known for his own struggles with addiction, would often turn to cigarettes and alcohol to relax after long days on set. French followed suit, and together, they indulged in these vices, bonding over shared drinks and smoke breaks. What began as a way to unwind eventually became deeply ingrained in their lifestyles. For French, the consequences would be dire. Victor French's heavy smoking habit, which had become a coping mechanism during his years working with Landon, eventually took a toll on his health. In the late 1980s, French began to experience symptoms that indicated something was seriously wrong. He was diagnosed with lung cancer, a direct result of his years of smoking. Despite his battle with the disease, French continued working with Landon on Highway to Heaven until he physically could no longer do so. The diagnosis devastated Landon, who had always considered French not just a colleague but a brother. French's illness rapidly progressed, and on June 15, 1989, he succumbed to lung cancer at the age of 54. His death profoundly impacted Landon, who mourned the loss of his best friend and confidant. However, French's passing also served as a grim reminder of the dangerous lifestyle choices they had both made over the years. Victor French's death was a turning point for Michael Landon, who began to reflect on his own health and habits. Landon had long been a heavy smoker and drinker, just as French had been. After French's death, Landon publicly admitted that their shared lifestyle choices had likely contributed to his friend's demise, and he resolved to make changes in his own life. However, it was too late for Landon to avoid a similar fate. On April 2, 1991, while on a skiing vacation in Utah, Landon suddenly began to suffer from a severe headache. Initially, he thought it might be a minor issue, but just 3 days later, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The cancer had already begun to spread, affecting the tissues and blood vessels around his pancreas, making it inoperable and terminal. Landon's doctors informed him that his years of smoking and drinking had likely contributed to the development of the disease, and Landon himself admitted that these habits were to blame. In a tragic twist of fate, Landon found himself in the same position as French just a few years earlier, facing a terminal diagnosis brought on by the very habits that had once bonded them together. Determined to quit smoking and make the most of his remaining time, Landon fought the disease with grace and courage. However, the cancer proved to be too aggressive, and on July 1, 1991, just 3 months after his diagnosis, Michael Landon passed away at the age of 54, the same age at which French had died. The friendship between Victor French and Michael Landon was a source of immense success for both men, as they worked together on some of the most iconic television series of their time. Their creative partnership brought joy to millions of viewers and established them as beloved figures in the entertainment industry. However, their bond also had a darker side, as their shared habits of smoking and drinking ultimately contributed to their untimely deaths. Victor French's death from lung cancer and Michael Landon's death from pancreatic cancer stand as tragic reminders of the dangers of addiction. The close friendship that brought them together on screen also fueled the unhealthy habits that would eventually claim their lives. For fans, the loss of both men was a heartbreaking end to two remarkable careers, but their legacy endures through the timeless characters they brought to life on television. In the end, the friendship between Victor French and Michael Landon was one of great love and loyalty, but it also carried the weight of deep personal sacrifice. French's connection to Landon may have cost him everything, but their bond remains an unforgettable chapter in television history, both for the joy they created and the cautionary tale their lives ultimately became. Victor French continued to work steadily in television throughout the 1980s, with Highway to Heaven becoming another iconic series in his career. Tragically, French was diagnosed with lung cancer in the late 1980s, and his health began to decline rapidly. Despite his illness, he remained dedicated to his work, filming episodes of Highway to Heaven until he was no longer physically able to continue. Victor French passed away on June 15, 1989, at the age of 54, leaving behind a rich legacy of work that continues to be appreciated by fans of classic television.